All right, it's Bill here, and here's my thoughts on a 5-2 win for the Toronto Maple Leafs over the Philadelphia Flyers. But before I get into that, and by the way, you might not like this video because I actually enjoyed the game a little bit. I thought this was one of the best Leaf games they've played so far, but I will get into it in just a second. No one's going to be talking about the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight other than probably me and a couple other people. They're going to be talking about the Blue Jays and the Blue Jays pulling a Toronto Maple Leafs in Game 7. All I'm going to say is this. I don't know baseball, so I really don't. I don't. So, again, I've watched more baseball in the last 3 games, or 3 days than I have in 15 years. I used to watch the Expos all the time. I remember Vladimir Guerrero's dad, okay? And then we lost all our players to the Yankees and the Colorado Rockies and all that kind of stuff because baseball's a joke. But all I will say is this, is I know who the Michi Boitano is on the Blue Jays. He starts with a D, ends with a V, Dalton Varsho. I got to come up with a name for that guy. How in the world, well, I've got another one, the fat boy Kirk too. How in the world Dalton Varsho with the bases loaded and one, can you imagine being in this situation? You have the bases loaded, 1 out, and you hit it into the outfield and you are the hero of the game. You're the hero of the game. You suck because the guy he ended every inning. All you got to do is get the ball into the outfield and this game is over and you fail. And then the Kirk guy just failed. He hits into a double play because he can't run. I don't know what to say. I know the pitchers gave up the homers. The Trevor Hoffman was really. How do you have a closer that pitches like 85 on a fastball? That ain't working. Anyways, it doesn't affect me as much as I'm sure it's affecting a lot of other people right now. I was frustrated for you, Blue Jay fans, because if you're a Blue Jay fan, you must feel the exact same way about Dalton Varsho that I feel about a lot of the players on the Leafs. But anyways, let's get into this game for the Leafs again. I thought the start was disgusting. It was bad. And it showed. You had a goal right off the bat by Christian Dvorak, assisted by Nikita Gurbankin, which then begs, is there a Scotty T. Rotten report? No, there's no Scotty T. Rotten report because he hasn't played all year. We traded Nikita Gurbankin in a first-round pick for Scotty T. Rotten. Scotty Too Hottie. Scotty Too Rotten. Can't wait for him to get back in. I know that's going to change us immensely. But Nikita Gurbankin with a really nice pass to Dvorak, who buries it, and you're like, here we go, minute and a half into the game, and what the hell? The Flyers did play a pretty decent first period, but we saw something in this game that's going to get me positive, folks. I watched Auston Matthews score an Auston Matthews goal. He takes the puck and he rips it. Top corner, top cheese, pulls it in. That's the shot that he scored 50 goals with in his 69-goal season. We saw it. He can shoot. It's nice to see. And he buries it for 1-1. I could give you... Well, Brandon Carlo played... Cottonelle Carlo played 24 minutes of hockey and didn't throw a hit. Surprising. I know we're all shocked by this. Anyways, second period starts. I thought the Leafs played a pretty good... The third line was a weird one. It was Waugh, Michelli, and Joseph. I thought they played pretty good. I kind of liked Michelli tonight. I didn't like the second line for the most part until maybe the end of the second period, third period. They started to turn it on. But that second line of Cowan, McMahon, and Tavares kind of got owned for a little bit of this game. But they did turn it on at the end. There was shifts where we were in their zone, mucking it up. That's what I wanted to see all year. That's why I was excited to see this team this year. I wanted to see this, and I saw it tonight. So while I'm happy with the Leafs, then I had to turn on the Blue Jays, and yeah, well, there you go. Dalton Varsho. Honestly, this poor guy, Ernie Clement. This Ernie Clement guy. I love this Ernie Clement guy. And then you put him behind. Ernie Clement nearly won the game when the two guys hit each other. Now, if Ernie Clement was batting in front of Dalton Varsho, the game would have been over. So how the hell do you not know Ernie? Didn't he break the record for amount of hits? I think Dalton Varsho broke the record for amount of fucking up. Anyways, I apologize. All right, enough about that. I like the way that they're playing. And then Jake McCabe gets a nice, and I think it was Joshua in front of the net. Seeing eye single, seeing eye goal right into the net to make it 2-1. And then Nick Robertson, well, he can shoot the puck. It was a horrible shift. They got hemmed into the zone. And Matthew Nyes grabbed it. I think it was a pass from Jonathan. And they got over the line. They dropped it back to Nick Robertson, and we all know what Nick Robertson can do. He can't play defense. He can't do much. He was on the penalty kill tonight. That wasn't good. But he can shoot the puck, and he shot the puck, and it went in 3-1. Okay, you got the lead going into the next period, and you started off. Tavares makes a nice play to Easton Cowan. Easton Cowan buries his first of the year. Again, I don't think Easton Cowan should be in. I think he should be marinating in the AHL, but it was a nice shot, nice goal, makes it 4-1. And then we got to talk about a Tanev. This is tough. I don't know any update, no nothing, but it didn't look good. What makes it even worse is we know Tanev's a tough dude. So this is the second game where he's kind of taking a hit that isn't, okay, it was an interference call. No doubt it was an interference call, but it wasn't, okay, Michkov might have meant to do, I don't know. But it certainly wasn't like he didn't run him. It wasn't into the boards. It kind of was a contact play that you've seen a lot of times in the NHL. Just like the one against the Devils. You've seen that play a lot of times. But now he's down. And this time so he had a concussion, just came back from a concussion. And I don't know what this is, but they were grabbing the neck. I'm going to guess it's on the way to a concussion again. This is very concerning. So the first thing is you worry about Tanev. Don't worry about the Leafs right now. You worry about Tanev and just hope he feels better. For the Leafs, this is a devastating blow. He's by far the best defenseman. He kind of leads everything that's out there. I'm going to guess he's going to be on the shelf for a long time. 2 concussions. I'm no doctor, but they're grabbing the neck and doing all that. I'm going to guess it's another concussion at minimum. And it's going to put him out for a while. The Leafs have Philip Myers, but that means that you can't get Cottonelle Carlo out of there. That means he steps up one position. That ain't good. So that was tough to see. And I think the rest of the game, I mean, we can get into the Hathaway. He's a fake tough guy. There was a goal that was scored by the Flyers that if I were a Flyers fan, I'd be very upset about. It wasn't a high stick. I forget the guy's name who hit it in Dablo or something like that, but that shouldn't have been called back. And then the penalties, let's face facts. The Flyers got away with 2 penalties and the Leafs got called for 2. There was a pick, didn't get called. And then Ekman Larsson did deserve that penalty on Bobby Brink, but then I'm pretty sure, was it Forster? Friggin' dummied him and didn't get a penalty for it. So that was interesting reffing. So they did get a late power play goal scored by Tyson Forster. There you go. And then Kellyanne Cack with a empty net goal. So, at the end of the day, it's way past my bedtime. I should have been in bed already. I think I get an extra hour of sleep, a little extra hour of beauty sleep for myself for tomorrow. But of course, I don't think anyone's caring about Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm sure who cares? Everyone's going to be talking about the Blue Jays, and all I can say is Dalton Varsho is your Mitchie Baitano star of the night, followed really closely by your Johnny T. Speed on the skates there, Charlie Kirk or whatever, no, it's not Charlie Kirk, sorry about that. It's the Alejandro Kirk. Just terrible. All you got to do is hit in the outfield, buddy. And you hit it on the ground, and you can't run. I can run faster. Johnny T can skate faster than any. Anyways, very disappointing for the Blue Jays. The Leafs played good tonight. This is what it's like to be a Toronto fan. You have the Leafs' best game of the season, followed by whatever nonsense I watched in the baseball. Talk to you Monday. I'll probably be late, though, on Monday because I think it's on Prime. Which is good for me because I usually avoid the game while I'm throwing darts, but it's going to be late video because I'm throwing darts. Cheers.